Mr. Senator, we know the connection of police. Bro, could you explain it?
When Bonaparte, in 1802, when Bonaparte was sending the expedition, the French expedition in Saint-Domingue, with his brother-in-law as the general-in-chief of this army, Mr. Leclerc, there were about 500 Polish members in that expedition. So what had happened is in 1803, while Dessalines was, when we had the war going on in 1803, when the Haitian army had won the war, the Polish soldiers did not take side with the French. They actually fought alongside the Haitian army. So after the liberation of Saint-Domingue, Dessalines, who became the general governor of Haiti, he didn't kill while he was killing the French. He saved the Polish soldiers, and most of them went to a small, very remote village in Haiti called Casal. So pretty much all those Polish soldiers went into hiding thanks to Dessalines in Casal, and it's a very secluded area, and those soldiers, they stayed there for about 200 years now, and no one ever bothered them, so they live in a small community. Until today, you can see that small community. And of course, during the years, they tend to change name. For example, my last name is Benoit, but back then, they were the Benoski. My mom's name is Benoit, my mom's last name is Benoit. Ancestors' name were Benoski, just like the Polish names. So for the past 100 years, we were very comfortable. We knew we were of Polish descent, but something special happened in 1980 when Pope John Paul II came to Haiti. He went to, he spoke about the connection between Casal and Poland, and he actually left Haiti with one kid from Casal, and that was this triggered another deep relationship between Poland and Casal, and since that day, the connection became stronger and stronger until today. From time to time, we do receive visitors from Poland, and my sister, who in 1998 became First Lady of Haiti, from time to time does mention the connection, and she actually went to Poland, to Varsovie in 1999 or 1990 or 2000 to actually meet with Polish authorities, with Polish television, to explain to the Polish people the connections between Casal and Poland. And today, as a senator of Haiti, but my parents are originally from Casal also, so every chance I get to speak about the connection between Casal and Poland, I do it with pleasure because it's there. Anybody who comes to Casal will see right away there is a strong community of Polish. And for example, the dance, the song, the dancing, all this is still very strong. You come to Casal, any Polish member, just by the way the people dance, just by the look in those people's faces, any Polish will see his roots also in Casal. So this is a very strong connection, and I'm very proud to say wherever I go, my parents are from Polish descent, and we want Casal to remain, this historical Polish village, and we are very proud of it.
Senator Benoit, do you remember 2010, 12 January, this tragedy of Haiti?
Oh, well, yes. In January 12, 2010, we had a huge, devastating earthquake in Haiti. Actually, before that one, the last earthquake we had was in 1749, and that was mostly in Cap Haitien, when the city of 1742, when the city of Cape Haitian pretty much disappeared. So for 200 years, almost 200 years, we haven't had an earthquake of this magnitude. So it was huge. Keep in mind, we had about 300,000 to 400,000 deaths, and Port-au-Prince pretty much disappeared. Pétionville, half of the Pétionville disappeared. Carrefour, you have a lot of neighborhoods that completely disappeared in Gressier, in Léogane, in Gangouave, in Tigouave, in Okaye, in Cabaret. So it was a huge loss for the country of Haiti. And even Casal, a few houses, we didn't have a lot of loss like Port-au-Prince, but even Casal suffered lots of losses also in property and in death. So it was the worst thing that could happen to Haiti. Like I said, nobody will know for sure how many people died, but the figures range between 300 to 400,000 people who had actually died during the earthquake. So it was a huge loss for Haiti because a lot of Catholic churches, most of the churches went down. Parliament, where I worked at that time, I was a congressman. Parliament, disappeared. The White House crumbled, and it was a huge loss. And till today, Haiti is still trying to recover, and it's very hard to recover because we are, we are a very poor country, and we don't have the resources to start rebuilding. And a simple look in Port-au-Prince, you could see 6 years later, we haven't started to rebuild yet because money is scarce. We don't have the resources, but slowly but surely, Haiti will come back, will grow back, but I think it's going to take time. It's going to take time, but we will survive. We have survived, and we will be back again eventually.
Senator Stephen Benoit, do you remember after this tragedy, a potential jet go to Haiti by the Captain Protacho?
I remember a lot of, I do mean a lot of countries sent many planes to Haiti. Remember, the airport was also damaged. So some of the planes, they went to Dominican Republic, unload on a truck, and the truck came here. But apparently, there was a Polish plane that came with some clothes, some food, some water. And keep in mind, at that time, we had nothing. Haiti, Port-au-Prince was closed. There was nothing. So any help was appreciated because some people came with water, some came with canned foods, others came with clothing, and all the help was appreciated. And of course, Poland being, like I told you, the connection Casal, Haiti, and but particularly Casal has with Poland, and this was highly appreciated because we know Poland is not a rich country, so they didn't have to do that. So just the fact that a country like Poland, so far away also, thought about giving Haiti some help, this will be always remembered, and that was very highly appreciated because they didn't have to do it, they did it, so that was appreciated. And eventually, one day, we hope to give something back to Poland. And today, the only thing we can give back is our friendship, is our culture, is our heritage, since our connection, since we, like I said before, we do have a city in Haiti, Casal, which is a country of Polish descent. So far, that's the only thing we can give back to Poland is the culture that we share together in Casal. And that will be a beginning that we are able to exchange our cultural heritage or history. So this is a beginning. Hopefully, that's just a small beginning. Eventually, there will be a cultural center, a Haitian cultural center in Warsaw. And eventually, maybe we will have also a Polish cultural center in Casal or in Haiti, where Haitians can actually learn Polish. And why not in Poland? The Polish who would love to visit Haiti maybe would learn Creole, Haitian culture, so they can come and visit by hundreds and thousands. They can come and visit Haiti.
Mr. Senator, what do you want to say television spectator and the Polish parliament?
Well, to all the Polish telespectators who are watching right now, I would love to say that Haiti is very grateful. Like I said, we have a city in Haiti, a small town called Casal, which is a city or town of Polish descent. I would encourage them to eventually come visit this beautiful country of Haiti, and most specifically, this beautiful town of Casal, where they would see themselves, they would actually recognize themselves in this beautiful city. And to Polish Parliament, eventually I do go to international meetings from time to time, and I usually go and salute my colleagues from the Polish Parliament, and eventually I hope to perhaps travel to Warsaw, Varsovie, so perhaps I can meet with some parliamentarians, senators, since I'm a senator, so we can discuss a way to have a connection, mostly because Haiti is a very cultural country. Perhaps maybe we could start with culture, and why not eventually have the president of Poland visit Haiti, or the president of Haiti visit Poland. But someone has to make the first step. I'm very happy my friend Christopher is making the first step by visiting Haiti, by taping, and you are making a step, I'm making a step. So every big move come with one small step, and 2 steps, 3 steps eventually would make a big movement. So this is something we are studying. My sister studied that also 15 years ago when she went to Warsaw, Varsovie. And today I am talking directly with the Polish people. So eventually the Pope make a step also in 1980. Pope Jean Paul II. My sister make a step in 1998. Christopher made a step by coming to Haiti. I'm making a step now. And eventually I hope Haitian Parliament will make a bigger step. And eventually, since we have elections coming up next month, eventually the next president of Haiti will make a bigger step, and maybe that will be the beginning of a big friendship between Haiti and Poland.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you so much, Mr. Senator. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to the long time.
No